ちらの若い頃は大きな戦争の時代じゃった。戦いに明け暮れ、生き延びるために必死での。これがわしらを鍛え、強さとなる。Coming up, I'm coming up. Feel the rush, feel the rush. If this ain't legendary, what you call it? I said if this ain't legendary, what you call it?
What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Ace Operative, and today, people, I will be reviewing Boruto Naruto Next Generation Episode 84, ONOKI'S thoughts, Ku's thoughts. I found this episode to be pretty decent. While Boruto was on the run from the Akuta to try and get to the rendezvous spot to meet up with the others, he had come across the Hidden Stones training ground, which was the Senzu Plains. While it was in the Senzu Plains, Onoki had let him know, like, one, you cannot use any jutsu in this plane, as well as you cannot escape from this plane. And to top it all off, you have to find a Heartstone. The Heartstone is like a reflection upon oneself. And from what I can tell, a person who is unwilling to train will never find it. That's what he had said to Boruto. Now, while they were in there, Boruto had become exhausted from trying to find a way out or find the Heartstone, to a point where, you know, he was like ready to give up. It wasn't until Onoki had demonstrated the will to survive, which was he foraged, he found food, water, so that him and Boruto would be able to live comfortably within that land. And I feel like the Hidden Stone training ground is much like how in the Hidden Leaf Village, Forest of Death, the only way that they were going to be able to survive was just from using their wits about them. And this was what Onoki wanted. This was why Onoki had said that Boruto's generation, they were weak. They were unwilling to want to become stronger. It's because they had gotten accustomed to the era of peace that this is what drove Onoki to do what he did. He did not trust this new generation because he saw that the new generation was just too weak. That is the reason why he had created the Akuta. The Akuta was supposed to just replace them. This was supposed to be the Hidden Stones type of soldiers. The reason why Onoki did it is because he didn't want no one else to die, and that was Onoki's way of keeping the village safe. Finding that out, I could understand the reason why he did it. If you really do think about it, Onoki wasn't that far off the mark. Like, if you guys remember, like, in the beginning of Boruto, like, the times in Boruto's era, Boruto's generation, it's so different from the way it was in Naruto. Because in Naruto Part 1 and Shippuden, we saw that villages constantly send ninjas off on different types of missions. And then after a few missions, they had gotten experience. They would enter tuning exams, become tunings, and then from there, their ranks just continue to go up and up until they're elite shinobi for the village, so that they're able to protect their village. Because they lived in a time to where other villages could send their ninjas to try and infiltrate, gather intel, as well as attack the village. Now, in Boruto's era, they haven't seen nothing like that, if you don't count like the attack from the Otsutsuki. And that's what Onoki was trying to get to. Onoki had saw that the Hidden Leaf Village was attacked by the Otsutsuki, and who's to say that they're not going to attack again? I felt like he was foreshadowing at that point, because that's why, you know, that's why he had told Boruto, don't get a big head. Just because you, quote unquote, beat the Otsutsuki, even though it was Naruto, and let's be honest, Sasuke, Boruto just delivered that final blow to put, you know, Momoshiki into a freaking coffin. First of all, the reason why Onoki wants to do what he wants to do. This is his way of protecting the shinobi world, as well as protecting his village. When it came down to Mitsuki, like the reason why he needed Mitsuki, he went back. The reason why Ku had called him father, it wasn't to what, you know, all of us had thought, like this was Onoki's grandson. No, it's just come to find out, Ku is made up of Onoki's cells, much like how Mitsuki is made up of Orochimaru's cells. He's a synthetic human. From that, we transitioned to Ku. Ku's name had stood for vessel, and Mitsuki was, I believe he had said it was empty vessel. I'm gonna put it up here if I'm wrong, so that, you know, just for the correction. And Ku wanted to fulfill what ONOKI'S wishes were. I'm not sure how this crud is going to end, bro, because by the way in which Ku is like talking, it's like he wants to fulfill his, you know, fulfill ONOKI'S will. This was his way of becoming whole. And Mitsuki had wanted to like talk to him because he wanted to find out like what was his will, what was like the reason for him being. And for that to be the case, you know, like, was this something that was put in him by his creator, which was Orochimaru, or was that, you know, something that he came about in his own way? And Ku had said that Mitsuki had shown a lot of maturity. He doesn't know if that was, you know, programmed by Orochimaru, or was it something that he had come into himself. Now, when it came down to Mitsuki's curse mark, Ku had stated that that curse mark is an older type of curse mark. Like, they're going to find a way around the curse mark and to be able to continue what they will need to do. And it just, as the episode drew to a close, we saw that some of the Octa within Ku's group, they started to break apart. So now they will need first aid treatment as well. So overall, this episode, it was, you know, we found out just some pivotal information and about, you know, like the reason why ONOKI'S doing what he's doing. But for me personally, like, I just don't know how all this is gonna end, because it seems like once they get what they need to get, I feel like for Mitsuki, obviously Konohamaru is going to show up to try and stop them. But the real question is, like how this arc, it feels like there's a twist coming. It doesn't feel like to me that this is all going to end and just peacefully in my like mind. Don't forget, I haven't seen none of the spoilers, so I can't like give a full like detail on like how it will end. But guys, let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section below. Thank you all for watching. Operatives, move out.